got the right bitch. No lefty, walking my truth, don't fuck with my 17 crawl for you walk, run it, catch me, got a sharp tongue, spit. A lot of y'all may have seen this error and not even realize that it was an error. A headline talking about Michelle's murder and Colin's murder, but with a picture of a young trans person at the bottom, right? Well, this person is in fact Jacob Williamson. And this is the headline that belongs to Jacob. 18-year-old trans man was taken in South Carolina. 18-year-old trans man's life was taken in South Carolina. Yeah, baby, hold on to your britches. It's another one of those stories, and this time it's a teenager. 18-year-old Jacob. Jacob was found roadside at the end of June. So, a few weeks ago, Jacob was found roadside. A lot of y'all may not have been aware that this was even a trans story because Jacob was commonly being misgendered in the media. At first, Jacob was a missing person, but they were reporting him as a missing girl. And they were also using pictures of Jacob that did not match the way Jacob presented now. Jacob had just recently moved out of his parents' house because Jacob had just recently came out as trans. And he wasn't being accepted by his family. He was actually living with a family friend, Promise Edwards. She had took Jacob in about a month and a half before his disappearance. Jacob told Promise that he had been talking to a man named Joshua Newton online. And Promise confirmed that he appeared to be talking to Josh the whole time that he had been staying with her. Promise also said that Jacob even offered to download a tracking app so that she would be able to have his location, to feel more secure about him being out with this guy. Because being trans and dating cisgender men is dangerous. Newton picked up Jacob from Promise's home in Lawrence County on June 30th. And he took Jacob to his trailer. Josh took Jacob to his trailer. They had met online with the intentions of being romantic and being intimate. From my understanding, Jacob went there, prepared to, I guess, hook up with the guy. But, clearly I had been talking to him for a month and a half, so the interest is understandable. It's nothing wrong with dating and meeting people online. That's what most of us do, right? Well, being trans, you have to be a little more precautious. Joshua took Jacob's life in his trailer and dumped Jacob's body on the road a few miles away. On the 4th of July. I'm not sure what happens before he dumps Jacob's body, and I really don't want to think about it, honestly. Joshua Newton has been found. And he has been charged with first-degree murder. Josh on the left. Josh was charged with his girlfriend, Victoria Smith, who is charged with obstruction of justice and accessory after the fact. So clearly this was a group effort between Josh and Victoria. They haven't confirmed whether or not it's a hate crime yet. But I think it's fair to consider it a hate crime, baby. We need cameras to watch Joshua and Victoria burn as well, honey. And just think, there are people who have sold drugs and will be housed in the same facility as these type of criminals. There are people who have had traffic infractions and will be housed in the same facilities as this type of people. There are people who have simply used drugs. There could be a young black man got caught with a bag of marijuana. You know how often that is. And you know how often the cops plan it. And you know how often they profile black people when most of America smokes marijuana. Who will be housed with these types of criminals. I know people with drug offenses who have done more time than these types of criminals. Child. Trailer park crazy crackers. Jesus. Thugs. Hooligans. And it doesn't make me feel better that this is not black people perpetrating these acts. No, it doesn't. But we do need to point out the fact that white people are horrible creatures as well, or can be horrible creatures as well. And that crime doesn't have a color, baby. So this is the message that Promise left. When she was supposed to be celebrating her birthday, she was heartbroken, mourning Jacob. And even though his family had put him out to pasture, clearly Promise cared about Jacob. Because without Promise, Jacob may not have lasted that long. And sadly, that is commonly the story for trans people. And these 3 stories that we just heard are common reasons why I wasn't expected to make it to this age. And I'm in my 30s. The life expectancy for a black trans woman is 35 years old.